Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Paid Search Podcast YouTube channel. My name is Jason Rothman. I'm always joined by my co-host, Chris Schaefer. On this channel, we talk about all things Google AdWords. Thank you for finding us here in the right place. Chris, let's just hold off on the audio for a few minutes and let me know how you're doing. You have this new background. What's going on here?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. This is just the YouTube part. We haven't started the show yet. I moved. We took a week break, and I used that opportunity to move hundreds of miles away. So, yeah, this is me in my office, my new.
Did you guys build those built-in bookshelves, or did that come with the house?
Came with the house.
Wow.
Yeah. The bookshelves were extremely expensive. The house was cheap.
Nice. And I can see people might have a little hard time seeing because you used to have this nice big Google Partners banner. Are you still a Google partner, Chris?
Yes, you can see right here in the corner. Yeah, okay. I have my little award there in the corner.
Say sorry to everybody. We took a week off.
No, this is free, and I can do what I want. So thanks for subscribing, though. We're back. We said we would be back. We're not going to quit.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say
all right.
sorry.
Well,
what am I, a millennial? I mean, do I apologize for everything? No.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump in the show. And by the way, YouTube, thank you for sharing the show. 1,000 subscribers. Just like that, Chris.
Bam.
Just like that. All right. Well, Chris, I forgot how to do this. It's been so long here, but I'll just, I'll go for it. Right there. Yes. Yes. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Paid Search Podcast. Yes. My name is Jason Rothman. As always, I'm joined by Chris Schaefer, the great Chris Schaefer. Chris, how's it going?
I'm well. I'm happy and healthy and well and full of ideas and advice to share. So
good. Now, we took a week off. This is the audio people now, and it's just it's good to be back. So thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Chris, I'm going to get us right into a review. It's a short review, but it's on iTunes, and I want to read it. The title, well, it's from Dave. It's from Dave, and the title is Waterboarding. And he said, I'm just here for the metaphorical analogies. And Dave, I appreciate that review. That really lets everyone listening know that this show is about Google AdWords, and we help people with Google AdWords. So Dave, thank you for that review. And everyone, you can leave your reviews at iTunes and all the places you listen to podcasts. Now, Chris, this is our 103rd episode here. You do a lot of training. You have a lot of things on your mind. You see a lot of holes in people's AdWords game, and you want to help them out. So don't confuse your ad copy with keywords. Everyone who's listening has read the title. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, this is something I see people do a lot. As you said, I do training, and so I get to talk to people. I'm forced to talk to people that don't understand AdWords, and so I'm forced to speak in very simple terms about AdWords instead of being, you go to AdWords blogs and stuff, and they're so complicated, right? I mean, the ideas, and they're like, here's how I took this campaign and, brought about a 15% conversion rate, from no conversions overnight, and what they have, you look at it, you're like, okay, great. Let me see what he did. It's so complicated and hard to understand what they're talking about because they're like making up some weird metric you've never heard of. They're using some type of strategy that you would never do. And it's confusing. And so I like to address things. And this is something that was on my mind recently. And I brought it up to you, Jason. You were like, yeah, let's do it. This is something I see a lot of people do because they get focused on their keywords. And for a lot of people, coming up with keywords is a very daunting task. And usually when people build AdWords campaigns, they have keywords on their mind, and it is such a gear shift to change from writing keywords to writing ads.
Right.
And you have this mindset of, what people are looking for keywords, and you have to think outside of what you know about the product or the service, and you have to use keywords that a layman would type. So, so you're having to really think through this and grind through this, and then come the ads, and you're in that same mindset of just core terms, core messaging, simple. And then what you end up doing is writing your keywords, the same messaging as you have in your keywords, you write it as your ad copy. And so this is this is very detrimental to a campaign because, as we'll talk about, you're losing a lot when you just use keywords in your ad copy, when you confuse ad copy for keywords.
Yeah, if your ad copy is like your keywords, or your keywords are like your ad copy, something's not going to work well. Either your ads are not going to get a good click-through rate, or your keywords are not going to get you a lot of volume or the right kind of traffic. So it's very important, even though they're related, to totally separate the two in your mind when you're building out and continuing to optimize a Google AdWords campaign here, Chris. So we've broken this down into 4 sections. Features, benefits, Chris. Don't use keywords for features. What are you talking about here? Are you talking about like using features for your keywords?
Yeah. So point number 1 here is pretty simple. And we've talked about features and benefits, and I break these out separately. So number 1, don't use your keywords, or don't use keywords for features. So in other words, I think maybe it'd be more appropriate if we said don't use features for keywords.
Right. So we're talking about selecting keywords here.
Yeah. So when you select keywords, you're going to be in the mindset of what you understand about the product or the service, and you're going to know what sets you apart from competitors. You know what's really valuable. It's that 5-minute pitch that you give to a new customer, a new lead. Okay, so let's imagine that you have a hair salon, and this hair salon offers online booking of appointments. You know, once they click through, there's an option to not have to call and talk to someone and be put on hold to make an appointment. You can do it right online. Okay, this is a feature of your hair salon. Okay. What people might do is they might think, okay, what I need to do is find people that are searching on ways to book haircut appointments online. Right? Book haircut online might be a keyword they think is important. But the fact is they're confusing features with keywords. What the real keyword is there's nothing magical about the fact that you do that. That's just an added benefit. It's an added feature that you can provide your customers. But in reality, the keyword is still just book haircut or find hair salon, something like that.
Hair salon near me, hair salon Plano, Texas, hair salon Poland, wherever someone is. No one, Chris, is it fair to say not many people are searching for like the keyword book haircut online? Don't they need to find the haircut place first?
Right. And you think about it, when you get too specific about this, Jason, who else might be searching for book haircut online? It could be a hair salon owner that wants to find software that can accomplish that for them, right? So now you're treading into a whole new territory of clicks that aren't even customers. They're people looking for a software system.
Okay, Chris, this is stupid. Like if I saw someone try to have a keyword in their account, nice little phrase match, book haircut online, I'd be like, you're fired. Like, what are you doing? Why would you ever do something that way at my company? But you're saying you're seeing this in the real world, in the trenches, in the training. You're seeing these kind of keywords be targeted.
It's not only seeing it. I'm using personal experience. I've done it myself because I this is, a lot of these things I'm sharing because these are mistakes I made myself. But and so this specific example was something I did, and I've realized, why would I approach it that way? That's the wrong way to approach. But yes, I do see it. And the reason this happens, and we'll go through the rest of these, but the reason this happens is because people are so concerned with catching every single keyword that they can possibly think of, and we talked about it last time. Don't confuse SEO with AdWords. Don't get volume confused with quality. So you don't need 2,000 keywords. You don't even need 200 keywords for a $500 campaign. Right,
Chris, it's like keyword. It's like it's a sickness called keyword hoarders or something in AdWords. Now, now that you say it was a mistake that you made, I never forget anything, Chris. Slights or compliments, you can You can melt me like butter for life if you give me a compliment, but if you slight me, I'll never forget it. But I've got a great memory, maybe the best memory. When we were building Sweetums Dental, you threw in a keyword group there for like book dentist appointments online or something like that. And at the time, my initial reaction was, oh, whoa, I never thought of that one. Like, Chris is way better than me. Like, I need to get better at my job. But now that I've thought about it, now that you've said, my second reaction was, well, wait a second. That is stupid. Like, who's searching for book dentist appointment online? Like, don't these moms want to know who's going to be in their kids' mouths? Like, they're not just going to book with anybody just because they can book online. And I didn't say anything at the time, Chris, because I didn't want to embarrass you or break the flow of the show. But it's very rewarding 6 months later to finally hear that you were wrong about book dentist appointments online. So I do remember that mistake you made. Now, Chris, I'd let you respond, but I don't want you to embarrass yourself further. So an example I have with don't make keywords from your features is if your salon's been in business for 25 years, don't have a keyword like salons with 25 years experience or salons with decades of experience, because no one's searching for that.
Right. Right. And there's so many examples we could share, for features, something that sets you apart. In reality, there might be a couple searches that are like that, but in reality, you're going to do better when you stick to the core keywords.
What the common people, what your common customers, the way they're searching and thinking about your business, the using features as your keywords problem, Chris, that really sounds like it's the business owner getting in their AdWords account, thinking like the business owner who's been in their industry for decades and thinking of all the cool things they do, and not someone who's thinking like the customers out there. So Chris, you got to think like the customer. The next issue that can come up with ad copy and keywords is this creating keywords from your benefits?
Yeah. Yeah. And we've, as I said, we talked about features. Now we're talking about benefits. Benefits are different because these are not necessarily things that are specific to your product or service. These are things that the consumer would see as a value, an added value to them. So in this specific example, we're going to talk about products. Okay. So before we were talking about services, in this example, we're talking about let's say you sell a mounted LED truck light. Okay, it can be mounted to the front that can really illuminate. You see those all the time, right before you
see them down in Texas. I
do. Well, right before you have a wreck, the guy that has like the mounted lights and he has like everything on, and you're about to like run into a tree because you can't see anything else. Yeah. Those guys. Okay. So don't assume that a good customer for you would be someone who's searching brighter headlights. Right? This is a problem searching keyword. Even though this is a benefit of your product, don't think that because this is a benefit that you suddenly can have a keyword that can slide in here and suddenly fit for brighter headlights.
Well, but Chris, the old agency, I sell headlights. I sell LED truck lights. The old agency I was working with, and sometimes I wish I still was and didn't have hired you, they love that keyword, Chris. It had a really low cost per click. And now you come in here, Mr. Great Google Partner podcast guy, and I look at my first report, I don't see brighter headlights keyword anymore. And oh yeah, my cost per click has gone up. So I don't think you're doing a good job, because if someone's searching for brighter headlights, they might need brighter headlights, and we sell bright headlights, Chris. So why is that a bad thing? That's the kind of feedback you're going to hear from the business owner. So why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes with a cheap cost per click. Come on.
Jason, you're speaking from experience, because this, ladies and gentlemen, this man has been in the trenches.
I've been in the trenches. Dude, you want to talk about the trenches? I have referred so much business to this other agency who does not do AdWords, okay? So much business for other services. And then yesterday, what happens? One of my biggest clients says, "Oh yeah, you're fired. We're going with that agency that you sent for our website work." Come on, bro. What, you're going to tell me about the trenches? I live in the trenches, dude. I live in the trenches.
You don't. Yeah.
I'm not, and trust me, I'm over that one. Okay. It's been a day.
You're over it. Obviously, I can tell. It doesn't bother you.
I've seen everything, Chris, with this nonsense. And yes, this is something, brighter headlights. lower cost per click. Why are you messing up my account here,
Yeah.
Chris?
This is these are symptom keywords. These are problem keywords. You know, if you're a doctor, don't go after keywords that say how to fix a sore throat, right? If you're a plumber, don't go after keywords that say my toilet is clogged, right? I mean, this is bottom of the.
But why not? If the cost per click's cheaper, why not?
Oh, you want to get to okay. So we'll give the speech you and I have done many times. Cheap traffic is cheap. I think that's the easiest way that I can say it. Quality traffic costs money. You know, your competitors aren't, your smart competitors aren't going after keywords that are, you know, top of the funnel junk everyday traffic. They're going after stuff at the bottom, and that stuff is worth more. And so, cost per click is not an indication of success. Just because you have a low CPC, that does not mean that you're being successful.
So
there you go.
don't just pay attention to the CPC, even though something's related. Pay attention to the conversions. Is something actually bringing in traffic? I redesigned my website recently, Chris, rothmanppc.com, and one of my taglines is start getting traffic that converts. So it's not just about low cost per click and traffic. It actually has to convert. And if someone's searching for brighter headlights, probably won't convert. Now, Chris, one thing I thought of, because we were sticking to the haircut example earlier, was if someone was searching for new haircuts for curly hair 2018 or stylish haircuts. That's a benefit that the salon can offer their customers. But just because someone's searching for that, they might already have a salon that they go to and have been going to for 15 years, and they're never going to convert. But yes, they're going to click on your ad and cost you money. Now, Chris, let's go in the other direction here, and let's start talking about ad copy. So when we talk about ad copy, don't confuse your ad copy with your keywords. What do you mean by that?
Okay. So I briefly talked about this at the top of the show. When you're building a campaign, the proper way is to start with keywords. You know, you're going to start building some keywords. You're going to start adding keywords to your ad groups. Okay. And we've talked about this in our old show from what you said, the Sweetums Dental, which we did a demo build. So go back to that if you're interested to see how we build campaigns or how we recommend that you build campaigns. But basically, the idea here is that when you have keywords and you start writing the ads, you're in this mindset of what keywords you should be using, and you start writing ads, and you start mixing the two together. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example because I think that's the best way to explain this. In this example, you offer a free music lesson. You're a private music tutor. Okay, and for new customers, you offer the first one for free. Okay, the mistake being made is that you would have as a keyword free music lesson, right? This is a ad copy. This is ad text that you would use, but not a keyword. Instead, your keyword should be music lessons or music teachers or local music teachers, things like that. Your keyword should not be confused with your ad copy. And I see this a lot. You know, people think that, okay, I give a free music lesson, I should have that in there. No, you should advertise that, but go after people who are looking for music lessons. When you get those confused, you end up getting people that are cheapskates that are looking for cheap, affordable music lessons and may just get you to come to their house, ask a bunch of questions for 30 minutes and never hire you. And that's not the kind of person you want.
Right. So good example from the moving business. An ad copy thing could be free moving quote. For sure, you could offer that to people and get them to click and call in. But if you were to do a search like a keyword like free moving quote, maybe broad match modified, the kind of high level and also cheap people with the word free and then also high level with the word quote, it would not turn into a lot of conversion. So just because it makes good ad copy, just because you offer it to people who are already interested, it doesn't need to be on that first initial interaction with them, which is that keyword that you're trying to target.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent example. And of course, should have known you'd have the perfect example from a mover. In case you didn't know, Jason Rothman, best AdWords moving company manager.
Thinking about retiring it, Chris.
Wow.
The
No.
moving business.
Nope.
I just every
Nope.
time I think about movers, it
You
breaks my
made
heart.
your bed. You made your bed, and you're stuck with it. I'm going to keep saying it. No.
I do B2B. I do other
Uh-huh.
industries, but yeah, I do movers as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that title. I don't want that crown anymore. Okay, so one more example on this.
Put it this way, Chris. You've got daughters. They come home when they're in their 20s from college. They get the guy they met. I want you to meet so and so, Dad. He's a mover.
It's a mover.
Would you like that, Chris? Would you like that?
No, probably not. No, I wouldn't.
Dad, we're gonna need you to pay for the wedding in our house. And Dad, he's got a great idea to start a business. We just need a down payment on the truck.
You're hitting a lot of points here with moving listeners. You brought them all in, and now we're just squashing them down.
Well, a few months ago, I called all of them former felons. So
yeah, that's great.
How much worse can get here? So, Chris, repeating. Okay, this is the biggest one when it comes to ad copy and keywords, because we see this all the time. You literally could do any search right now. To the listeners, search moving companies plus your city, Dallas. Search injury lawyers plus your city, Memphis. And what you're going to see on the headlines on all four of those top ads are injury lawyer in Memphis. You're going to see moving company, Dallas TX. Repeating your keywords as ad copy does not communicate features or benefits.
Yeah.
That is a Chris Schaefer quote. Now, Chris, why don't you explain that?
Yeah. So, Jason, you gave the best example there. If everyone else is doing it, if you could basically copy and paste every ad and side by side, and they just look exactly the same, then that shouldn't be you. That should not be what you want your ad to look like. So what you want to avoid is, and this all fits into the same example, confusing ad copy and keywords. And basically what you do is end up repeating your keywords in your ad copy. So in this example, I go after a service company. Someone searches for financial advisor, and you use your ad copy to talk about what sets you apart from the competition. You don't just say financial advisor. You don't just say that. You need to evoke emotional response. You need to invoke more practical response, which means, you might need to say something about if they're a fee-based company, or if they have, very low percentage fees that they do. And you don't do this all in one ad. You write one ad that's emotionally focused, another ad that has more practical focus, more, about we're nearby, we're, we have a very low fee, flat rate fee, in each of these, you write that connection, and don't just have ads. This is why, Jason, I know you agree with me. This is why DKI ads are so boring and ineffective.
Dynamic insertion.
Dynamic keyword insertion ads, which is the little brackets that you put on it. And if you don't know what it is, don't look it up, because you'll use it as shortcuts all the time. This is basically a way to just get your keywords to show up in your ad copy.
Chris, people want to talk about AI all the time. People want to talk about machine learning. People want to talk about everyone getting into this business. There's a lot of competition. Sometimes your friends steal your clients. It's just hard to keep a good thing going, right? The one thing that I think makes me feel good about our positions is ad copy and psychology and persuasion and getting deep with all that kind of stuff and selling and marketing. Because I just did a search for injury lawyers, Oklahoma City, from my computer here while we're talking. First ad, Oklahoma City injury attorney. Second ad, Oklahoma City injury lawyer. Third ad, personal injury attorneys. Fourth ad, auto accident attorneys. Fifth, Oklahoma City injury lawyers, injury lawyer, personal injury lawyers. That's what all the headline ones are. And what do we have? I think, is it 80 or what is it? 35 characters now in the headline one?
80
in headline one?
Oh, well, okay. Well, there is no head. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's only one headline now, but yes, it's
we just
35.
Yeah. So you basically have 70 characters, right, to say something.
Mm-hmm.
And what these 7 guys chose to do was to say exactly what, like just they mirrored my search, injury lawyer, Oklahoma City. Let me give you an example, Chris. I'm reading the book Win Bigly, and it's about persuasion. And one of the persuasion tactics people use is they assume the sale. They assume that the prospect is going to say yes, and they lead them past that, and they paint a picture in their mind of the benefit or feature they can get once they choose them as their provider. So a good example of a divorce lawyer, Chris, if someone did a search for divorce lawyer Oklahoma City, everyone else's ad is going to say divorce lawyer OKC, divorce lawyer Oklahoma City. You know what my ad's going to say, Chris? Protect your assets. Call now to talk to a lawyer, because you know what's on the person getting divorce's mind for a lot of cases, a male
losing too much
is losing half their assets, and I'm going to lead them past the sale. I already know they're going to call me and talk to my lawyer. So I'm going to tell them the benefit of what's going to come from clicking my ad and calling me. I'm going to protect your assets. I'm going to get what you want done. And I paint that picture in their mind. And then in the second headline on the side, you can say, call now to talk to attorney blank and blank, whatever his name is. So that ad's going to stand out to me as a search user. That ad's showing me what can happen if I click on the ad and call that attorney, and it's solving my problem. It's not just doing the stupidest thing you could ever do, which is mirroring the person's search. Yet, Chris, I'm looking at 7 injury lawyers here, and all 7 of them did it. The reason so many people do that, Chris, is because there's this thing out there about quality score, making sure your ad is relevant to your keyword. So when I'm the person getting training from the great Chris Schaefer, and you tell me, don't just mirror your keyword in the ad copy, I'm going to tell you, yeah, but that's what they told me to do to get a good quality score. How can I get a good quality score, Chris, without using the exact keyword in the ad? Is that necessary?
Yeah. No. I think that's the best question right there. Is it necessary? And look, we always have to go back to, what is essentially the AdWords Bible, which is what's written in the Google support, Google help files online. And Jason, you take the certification test, just as much as me. And there's always the same question on that test. Do you have to have the same keywords in your ad copy as you do in your keywords, right? Or you have to have the same word in your ad copy as your keywords. And the answer to that question is no. You do not have to have your keyword in your ad copy. And Google knows this, and they encourage this because they know what will happen if everybody just puts the keyword in the ad copy. You just have bland, no emotion, no reason to click. Nothing entices the person to respond when it's just the same keyword over and over again.
Chris, why should I click on an ad if it says the same thing as an organic listing? If it's just more organic listings?
Yeah. And there's so much more value. And when you talked about quality score is derived not just from the relevance of your ads to your keywords. The other factor is click-through rate.
The big factor.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the factors. And imagine if you had everything else, but then you missed, the human side of things, the click-through rate, the relevance. I mean, there's other human sides that Google accounts for your quality score. It's not just about matching your keywords to your ad copy. And in fact, when you rely heavily on that, I say you lose out because you're not going to get clicked on. People don't respond to it as much. So you're not going to get a higher click-through rate.
And even when you do get clicked on, it's like, what are they going to be motivated to call in and say, oh, you're the Oklahoma City injury lawyer? Or if the ad actually had a benefit, like, I don't know, get the biggest settlement possible, that motivates them to, hey, this is what happened to me. How big do you think my settlement could be? And they're more motivated to actually convert. So, Chris, I think we did a good job tackling this problem. Any solutions for people out there? The only things I can think of is just totally put yourself in a different place when you're doing your keyword generation. Go to Google suggested searches, go to the big red button in the account, look for keywords, but then keep that a totally separate process from ad copy. And ad copy, that's the time when you put yourself in the customer's shoes, really try to think like a customer.
Yeah, for me, here's what, when I thought of this topic and I wanted to talk about it today on the show, one of the things that I do, and I was doing at that moment, was I was writing I just finished the keywords and I was writing ad copy, and I like to have the web page on the right side, and on the left side of my screen, I like to have my AdWords interface over on the left side.
Okay.
And what I do is I look at what's written on that web page, and I look for certain words in their headlines, certain things, and I'll highlight certain things on the screen. I'll highlight there. Oh, see the way they phrase that. So I will use the website as a way to find those hidden features and benefits, because I'm sure they put a lot of time into writing the copy for that landing page or that website. So I use that to take myself out of the keyword generating mind frame and into more of the features and benefits of generating quality ad copy.
Right. That's a great idea. And if the business or the client has a really bad website and not a lot of content on it, the nice thing for us, Chris, and working for service companies, or at least for service companies, there's injury lawyers in every city in the country, Chris. There's moving companies in every city in the country. So there's a lot of different moving company websites to look at. And you don't have, I'm not saying like, oh, someone has a trademark, use it. Of course not. But you can kind of figure out what the problems moving customers face by looking at other people's moving company websites. You can find out what pain points divorce clients hit by looking at divorce lawyer websites all over the country. So I love doing that, Chris. It's probably the funnest part of my job. I was just doing it yesterday for a lot of injury lawyers. I was looking at people's sites across the country, looking at ads across the country in the preview tool, trying to come up with what are some really unique things that people are saying to their prospective clients that kind of hit home emotionally and persuasively that I can use in my ad copy. So that's the funnest part of the job. And that's got nothing to do with near me, geo keywords, phrase match, all that kind of stuff. So it's a totally separate process.
Yeah. Maybe we should do a show sometime about just how much, or I would say maybe how little, quality score actually affects my decisions in AdWords nowadays.
Controversial, Chris.
It
controversial.
is. Sounds
controversial.
Sounds like a good debate to me.
I'm just looking at you like a guy with no body armor, and I've got what'd you tell me? A 45 is a big caliber or something, just pointing at you as your competition, because you are putting yourself out there naked and afraid right now. Because if you want to talk that way about quality score, you're leaving yourself so open to people swooping into your clients' accounts and going, look at this little quality score. We get 8s and 9s and 10s on every keyword. And we need to talk about that, Chris, because that is controversial. Okay.
It is. And
I'm not hearing that from a lot of agencies trying to scoop up business. I'm hearing that quality score matters more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing that 10s are possible on every keyword.
Yeah. Oh, is it? I would love to see their best account. And that's always funny to hear. Yeah. I mean, when they talk about quality score. So yeah, maybe that's let us know if you think that's something you'd like to hear more about. Is maybe we debate about it. How much does quality score matter? Sounds like fun. So
let us know that, everybody. Also write in and let us know if you would like us to do two weeks in a row. I mean, that's what people do they like that, Chris? Or do they like us taking vacation weeks to go suntan and do nothing on an afternoon and sit in a bookstore and just read your little book because you just needed time off?
Yeah. Well, I think I can count on one hand how many times we've missed a week on this show. So I think the people are forgiving of that. They know.
You think
they
so?
understand.
I think everyone's forgiving.
We had a show on
podcast
Christmas.
Partner.
We had a show on Christmas. You come on. You got more time than you know what to do with. So.
All right. Well, everybody, we've hit the the 35-minute mark. I know Chris is a busy guy. We're going to let him go so we can get him back next week, and we'll be back next week. Hopefully, I'll put that out there. Hopefully, everybody. So thanks for listening. Hopefully, we'll see you next week with episode 104. Thanks so much.